Welcome back to the Oddity Shop podcast, you little oddballs. Zach just gave me the craziest face. This is the podcast where we
tell you creepy, odd, weird, strange, and bizarre stories from around the world.
I'm your curator, Kara, or I should say I'm your curator, Zach, because Kara...
Okay, I messed it up one time.
I just said because Kara was Kara last week, because Zach was Kara last week.
I'm Kara now.
I am your curator, Zach, and that is your curator, Kara.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
What did you have to tell me?
Okay, so you know how you're working on a little bit of a gallery wall?
Oh, you know, the one with all the paper on it?
Oh my God, look at it. It's starting. Okay.
So hold on. Let me just tell you something. Because I didn't tell you this. You know that day that mom came over?
Yeah.
She was here all day? That's what she came over for.
Nice. Okay,
It's
well, I was going to say, if you need anything else for it, I found some really cool posters that you're going to love.
So here's the thing. I don't need posters. I want to hear where they're from, though. I need, is this landscape?
Yeah.
I need things that go landscape.
Some of these posters did, actually.
Oh, okay. Then tell me about it.
So they're like, it's called Madame Talbot something posters, but they're like old-timey, creepy posters, but they're right up your alley. I'll send you the link.
That actually would be perfect.
I actually saw them last weekend when my coworker and one of my besties, Sarah, was out here. So randomly from Arizona, she had a wedding. Person,
coworker and bestie. It made it sound like two people. It's one.
But she lives in Arizona, but she had a wedding in Saugatuck, Michigan to go to. So she stayed with me for the weekend, and I was her plus one.
Random.
So
because
random.
of how close you are to there?
Yeah, I'm 30 minutes away. And she met the people, the bride and groom. She worked with them in Arizona.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's even weirder.
Yeah.
I love that.
So they live in Chicago now, which makes more sense.
But still.
So when she was out here, we went to like 4 antique shops. And then we found out a brand new vintage antique shop had opened in Grand Rapids. So we had to go check it out. And they had these posters, but I also found where you can get them online. So I have to send it to you. I was so good, though. I didn't buy anything.
That's great.
At the antique shops. But then her and Julia hit it off because they're both big book people. Books. So we went to a bunch of bookstores.
Did you buy books?
I did. I bought this book that I read when I was in college. And it's not a fun storybook. It's psychological, sociological studies called On Death and Dying. And it's that one that's always referenced where like the person went to people when they were close to death and like interviewed them.
Oh, cool.
I got it for $5.
Oh, I want to read it.
I got a really awesome tarot book.
Oh, cool.
On how to intuitively read a little bit better.
Nice.
And I bought a new tarot deck, or I should say decks.
You're not supposed to buy your own decks.
That's a wives' tale.
I know.
But so it was 2 decks in one, and it's really interesting. So it's the major arcana is standard Rider-Waite style art, Rider-Waite-Smith. The minor arcana is not so much, but it's called the Tarot of Light and Shadow. Oh. And there's a bunch of different ways you can work with this. So the art is slightly different. So like in the light deck, the art of the Fool is your standard Fool, the happy dog, the birds over the cliff. But on the shadow side of it, the birds turn into bats and the dog is baring his teeth, but it's not necessarily like that's bad. It's just like, here's what's different at night. So it's supposed to help you with the intuitive reading. What do you pick up on first?
Okay.
And you can either shuffle both decks together or I did a 3-card from the light, which is supposed to be more external factors, and a 3-card from the shadow, which is supposed to be more internal, like shadow work. It's a very interesting deck. Cool. I'm so excited about it.
For those of you that are new-ish here, Zach did cover a whole episode about tarot and the different classes and what would you call them? Classes?
The different suits and the major and minor arcana and the history of it.
Yeah. So that's a good episode.
That's when I first got started in.
That's when you want to redo.
I've been no, I don't want to redo it. I still stand by it. Here's the thing. I've been working on this very personally for about 2 years.
Yes.
And I am finally getting the confidence where I think I could start doing readings. So I'm going to open it up to people who listen to this episode. Send us a message.
Can I
and
interrupt?
I will do a reading. Yes.
I think it should be for Patreon. You could be a free Patreon. You would just have to be a member of Patreon.
Perfect. There we go. So yes, we'll do it on the free tier of Patreon. But join, and
that would be so fun.
Put it where should they put that they want in the chat? Let's start a new chat.
Okay. Yeah, because I can start one that has all members and it'll just be tarot. Perfect.
And so I can't guarantee when I'll get to it, but I am confident enough that I want to start doing it. So
oh my God, I love that.
From posters to Sarah to tarot. That was my weekend.
Okay, cool. So I have a couple things.
Okay.
This just made me think. Did you order your 2026 planner?
I have not yet, but I need to do it.
Have you been getting texts about, I was going to say about promotions and stuff?
Yep.
Okay, because I don't think I'm going to order it again. I want to, but I just don't think I can. But I
love that planner.
I know you do, and I'm so happy I bought it for you, but I just couldn't.
What's it called? The Ritual, WRITUL.
It is so
tarot
cool.
planner. Oh, I love it.
So this actually brings me to the topic that I told you I forgot. I forgot and I remembered. I just can't do it. This is a very quick, if y'all could help a girl out, you can DM me, even on my private socials. It doesn't have to be for the Oddity Shop podcast one. You can find me anywhere. I need help. Okay. I am very much struggling right now. I don't want to cry, but I feel like I might. Hold on. Okay. I'm fairly positive that I have ADHD, and that's not why I'm crying. I'm just very torn on what I should do about that. So if you guys have resources, or if you have ADHD and you're struggling, I feel like it's getting worse as I'm getting older. Ooh, I didn't think I was going to cry about this. I just don't know what I should do. I don't know if I want to be medicated. I just don't know what to do. So you can keep this all in. It's fine. So anyway, that is my personal, if y'all could help a girl out. On a positive note, not that this is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Would you like a tarot reading about it?
I should. Yes, I would. That could be your first one. We can do it on Patreon. They can all watch. I'm not crying because I think I have ADHD. That's not why I'm crying. Plenty of people have it. I just don't know what to do with my life right now. Anyway, on a positive note, my most favorite person in the world turned 90 on Sunday. Your girlfriend, Patricia.
I love Aunt Pat.
And we had such a great time. So we took her out to a little fancy restaurant. And it was very cute because her cousin, me and Erin, we didn't tell her we were coming. So Aunt Pat was just with my parents and my uncle. And so they were there.
I'm upset I wasn't invited to Aunt Pat's birthday.
You know what? I was going to invite you, but I just knew you wouldn't be able to go to St. Clair.
No.
It's so far from you. Anyway, we get there. And we walked in, they were all seated, and she was just fucking floored. And she's like, oh my God, it's just wonderful, wonderful. Oh my God, this is so wonderful. Anytime I'm anywhere, it's the most wonderful thing for Patricia. Just saying.
Which, she's actually having a good time because she can be a little bit curmudgeon-y. So if she's saying things are wonderful.
Hold on. She's not curmudgeon-y. She is a spicy bitch.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Love that woman to death. But that is solely where I get my independence and my bitch from, is that woman. So anyway, she always orders Manhattans. That's her drink. But I don't understand why, because no one ever makes them correctly, because she doesn't like vermouth. So you literally have to put the tiniest splash of vermouth. And if you put too much, it's wrong. If you don't put enough, it's wrong.
I hear her on that, though. Most people do not put the correct amount of vermouth in. And I'm really picky about it in my martinis.
So we always go and we try to ask, can you put the vermouth in a separate glass? But then they charge you for a shot.
Which is
this place
wild.
Was so great, though. This waitress was wonderful. She was military, but perfect. She made one, had them make it. It was not good. She's like, it is your birthday, girl. She said, it's your 25th birthday, girl. We get you what you want. And she had them put some in a shot glass. And so my mom made it for her. But I got her a special glass and they served it. And she didn't realize it was for me. And it said made in she born in 1935. And it was made to perfection. And it's a beautiful drinking glass. It was so cute. She loved it. And then I bought her more for me. But I bought her one of those journal books, though, where it's it's separated by ages. And what was your favorite memory, your favorite cartoon, your favorite whatever, for her to fill out. So it's more for me. But it was such a great day. It was very lovely. It was beautiful. She cried. It was cute.
Well, you tell her I say happy birthday and I miss her next time you see her.
Oh, I will.
All right.
Her boyfriend. She always says, are we sure he's gay? He is.
No,
and also,
you know what? I'm straight for Aunt Pat.
You're 90.
I am so straight for Aunt Pat.
You know what's so funny, though? This is so cute. And they weren't lying. A table next to us was after that, when they got up to leave, and they were like, happy birthday. And they're like, are you really 90? Because she doesn't look 90.
No.
And then she was like, oh my God. And I said, oh, I paid them to ask you that.
All right.
Okay.
We ready?
We are ready.
Well, I'm opening the shop the correct way because I
prepared.
do have a question for you. Okay. So we all know that when you go into the forest that you feel like you have a connection like with nature, but where do you think, where does it come from? Why do you feel so connected to it?
I just went to take a drink out of my straw and spilled it everywhere. Why do I feel so connected to it?
Yeah, like what do you think it is about walking in the forest that makes you feel more connected to nature? Like, is it something metaphysical? Is it just because you're with the plants? Like, what is it about nature?
That's a good question. I think it's just because I feel like you were born into nature.
Okay.
Like we used to be just born into nature. Like we were part of it. Like we were all one. Now, as like we've progressed and things like that, we are so far removed from nature. Like there are some people that like the most nature they get is walking to outside to their car.
True.
So I think that we're so much far removed, but then it's kind of like, it's just an instinctual thing. Like kind of like, you know, basically the only thing I can think of is like when people are like motherhood, like it's just an instinct. But like, I think it's just an instinctual thing. When you're in nature, it like comes to you. Like, does that make sense?
Sure.
I'm trying to articulate it. But
I know you did a good job. So I think people have a hard time explaining why it is, obviously. So the Slavic people set out to figure this out for us. So
really?
Oh yeah. And they came up with some lore. So imagine that you're walking through the woods and you do something that might piss off nature a little bit. Maybe you accidentally kill a plant, you purposely cut down a small tree, maybe you littered, or you just didn't clean up after your campsite well enough.
Okay.
And the next thing you know, you're lost. Maybe you hear some whistling or singing from deep within the woods.
No, you know how I feel about whistling, especially at night. We don't do that here.
Hey, Kara, have you ever wanted to take your spiritual practice to the next level?
Oh, absolutely. And if you're looking for something that feels truly magical and not mass produced, you have to check out My Mystical Forest.
My Mystical Forest is like stepping into your own enchanted sanctuary. They offer handmade spiritual tools crafted with care, intention, and so much heart.
We're talking tarot card holders that make your readings feel elevated, pendulum boards that bring clarity, and spirit boards to deepen your connection.
And don't forget the incense burners to set the perfect vibe, plus crystal trays to arrange and organize all your favorite stones. Everything is a labor of love made from hand-selected hardwoods.
Whether you're a seasoned spiritual practitioner or just starting your journey, My Mystical Forest has the tools to empower and inspire.
Unlock the magic for yourself and seek harmony. Visit mymysticalforest.etsy.com. That's M-I Mystical Forest. And find the heirloom quality pieces that speak to your soul.
Also, for our little oddballs, for a limited time, enter code ODDBALL at checkout to receive 10% off plus a free pendulum, or simply use the link down in the show notes.
Goodbye. Yeah, well, you're going to figure out where this lore actually came from today. So maybe you might see something that might be a wolf. Oh my God. I got to get through parts of this.
You're the one always whistling at night and I want to kill you.
Okay, so next thing you know, you're lost. You hear whistling or singing from deep within the woods. 1 minute you see something that appears to be a wolf. Or not a wolf, but a man that grows bigger and bigger. You try to escape, but now you are caught by the Leshy.
I'm so excited you're covering this.
I've stumbled upon this randomly recently.
Oh.
I started playing a new game on my Switch called Cult of the Lamb. And it is the cutest game. It's like one of those little city builder games, but you're a reincarnated lamb.
Into this. I love it.
And you're a reincarnated lamb, and you have to grow a cult of all these woodland critters to like do all your bidding for you. And you have to like go through the forest and beat bosses to like get more cult members. But one of them was named Leshy, and I didn't think anything about it at first. I just thought it was kind of like a random name. Then I was scrolling. Yes.
No, it just made me think. So I was listening to Smoshree's Reddit stories the other day, and they were talking about Stardew Valley and how it's just like such a little wholesome game. And I was like, oh,
I love Stardew.
Zachary and naming all the animals in it after animals he's actually met.
Oh, yeah. I just finally got my sister on it, too. If you haven't played Stardew, you need to. Okay. So then I was like scrolling through Facebook and I sent you this screenshot. I'm like, oh, my God, this is my next episode because there was something about Leshy
Oh, you did send me that. Yeah, you're right. I totally forgot.
Right? It was titled The Legend of Leshy, the vodka-chugging, baby-stealing trickster of Slavic lore.
I totally forgot you sent me this. I'm so excited now.
I've been sitting on this one a minute. Okay.
Love it.
This is Slavic lore, right? So they are people who originated in Central and Eastern Europe. They were nomadic people who spread from Indo-European origins around 2000 BC.
Okay.
By the 4th century AD, they established large settlements and began to spread into Balkan, Central Europe, and east of the Black Sea. So these are pretty much your Eastern European people. A lot of them have Slavic genealogy. That's not the word I'm looking for, but that works. Descent. Thank you.
Okay. I'm like, is it?
Their original culture, though, was obviously being so old, right? A lot of it wasn't written, but it was handed down generation to generation. And a lot of their legends and lore and histories definitely changes over time.
Okay.
But through the 7th and 12th century, they were a pagan people, and they believed in many different gods and entities and spirits. Later, they did become Christianized, but it's during this time that they start to, before they were Christianized, when they're still pagan, that we start to hand down stories of the protector of the forest named Leshy.
Which I think that's such a cute little name. Leshy.
It is the cutest name ever.
We got to name something after that. Your next reptile. Leshy.
My next reptile, or just my next stuffed reptile, because half of them are just named Kevin.
Kevin.
Leshy, though, his physical description, he is an important woodland spirit for the Slavic people. Sometimes he's considered a god, or the god of the forest. Sometimes he's just a lesser deity. Some describe him as demonic, a spirit, shapeshifter, all sorts of things. But I think the easiest way to describe him is just the elemental spirit of the forest. So he is the embodiment of what you feel when you go into nature. Who protects the land, but also messes with anybody who disrespects them.
See, I like this.
It's definitely hard to tell if he is outright evil, nice, or just something else entirely. And I almost think it's we're trying to put too many human characteristics on him.
I was going to say, because I guess it's probably just how maybe you and I articulate, we don't mind what religion or what beliefs people think or have, right? We respect all, you can tell me about it, but as long as you actually do good and you have good energy and you're a good person, it's fine. It's kind of the same thing. If you're just walking around in the woods, you're probably going to be fine. Don't do dumb shit.
Not always, though.
Okay. Well, it's vibes.
So one of the best ways I did see him describe it is his personality is not too far off for how current pagan people view fairies.
Oh.
So, fairies aren't either good or evil, but they just are kind of on their own prerogative, and they'll mess with you.
Mess with them.
Yes, and you have to respect them. Yes. As far as Leshy's looks are concerned, he is often described as a masculine humanoid looking really old and weathered, large beard, one eyebrow, and eyelashes only on the other eye, and he's missing his right ear. So
it's not an eyebrow, just a straight eyebrow. It's just one eyebrow over one eye and eyelashes over the other.
Yeah. He's missing symmetrical features of his face.
What happened?
We don't know, but I think the thing is this isn't his. It's his most common form, but it's not his only form. So he's just taking on human.
Can I ask a question? Or do you want me to wait?
Let me get through all of the description and then you can ask your question because I'm probably going to answer it.
Okay.
He's also part forest though. So he's covered in moss and sticks. Sometimes his beard is even just totally made out of trees, limb or moss and everything. His skin is usually a pale bark-like greenish color. He has wild green hair. And his clothing is also made out of elements of the forest. But the two surefire ways you're seeing him is his glowing eyes and his lack of a shadow no matter the time of day.
Oh.
I kind of think were you a Lord of the Rings person?
Uh-huh.
If you took Gandalf and an Ent and just mashed them into one being.
Okay, so what I was going to ask is, do we think that the mixed up facial features are because he's trying to portray a human in some way, but just can't quite get it? But then the rest of the description doesn't really match that. That's what I was just trying to think. How The only thing that's coming to my mind is like black-eyed kids, how there's really obvious their eyes are black, but something else is off about them and you can't really picture it, but you know they're not right.
I think he's just supposed to look a little bit chaotic.
Because
he's also not always in this form. He is a shapeshifter. If he's going to take the form, a lot of times he'll show as a wolf, a bear. But unlike other shapeshifters we've talked about, he can turn into anything. So sometimes a tiny little insect, right? But he can also appear as a mushroom, a log, a pebble, any animal or person, or just become totally invisible altogether. So he can literally take on any form in the forest, whether it's living or dead.
I love this.
He can also control his size. People have seen it going from a small ant to this giant imposing human with no limits on the size.
Like just transforming
as it moves through the forest.
I think this is cool.
So he's very ethereal. And this is less think cryptid and more think folklore. Okay?
I don't think cryptid at all when you're telling me this.
Right. This is more ethereal, spiritual. Yeah. Okay. On to his personality, powers, and behaviors.
Ugh.
Because he's got a big personality. So he is said to protect the woodlands, and the Slavic people believed that the forest was a liminal space between life and death, and he is the embodiment of that duality.
Can I ask, does he go by he? Because I feel like he would be like gender fluid.
Pretty much always shows as a human or as a male figure, very masculine energy, and every article did say he.
He. Okay, just curious.
So, and it's a good question because the Slavic pagan culture, they did have both male and female energies.
Oh, okay, cool.
So his was always, marked as he.
Okay, cool.
So he protects the woodlands. Like I said, he lives in kind of that duality between life and death. He has the ability to mimic the sounds of animals, but also the voices of travelers. So he can sound very familiar, luring you deeper into the woods. But not sometimes evil, sometimes more mischievous. I think, if I'm going to be honest, that in reading this, I think this is where we start to get some of the lore of Flesh Pedestrian and things from Appalachia.
Just going to say this reminds me of Flesh Pedestrian, Wendigo-ishy.
And less from the Native American lore, but more the Native Europeans. Yeah. There's a ton of similarities.
Correct. Dang, I was going to ask something. Oh, do we think, or do you think, or maybe you're going to tell me later, are we luring just anybody random? Like, do you think it goes off of vibes? Okay.
A lot of the lore says, too, if you hear your name being called in the woods and no one's around, it's the Leshy.
Yeah, which that's just... no.
While tricking humans, he also takes care of all the wildlife and loving all forms of wildlife. He can also command them and use them as his messengers or spies. Usually it would be wolves, bears, owls, and snakes that do his bidding.
I mean, wait, wolves, bears, owls, snakes?
Yes.
That makes sense.
So that's his usual if he's going to control animals, what he does.
Okay.
We said earlier he can whistle a haunting tune, but he can also make the forest come alive with laughing, echoes, sudden changes in weather, like thick fogs, wind, or storms.
I love him.
I really, it's an interesting thing because it, like, with that being the duality between life and death, I think it's also like between a good and bad. I think you just can't give him the human characteristics that you want to. Also, you'll love this. You know who he's supposedly good friends with?
Who?
The Baba Yaga.
Oh, They're friends?
They're friends. They're like tight. Okay. Getting into his like trickster behaviors.
Okay.
He's sort of playful and he'll make like trick people who come into the forest. So he'll he'll cast illusions and disorient people. A skill he usually uses to protect animals from hunters who are not acting right. And it makes you like go into parts of the forest and get lost. Some of his more malevolent portrayals depict him luring children and babies into the woods, especially those who haven't been baptized, those who wander into the forest alone, and those who've been mistreated by their kin, especially their parents. Now, don't get sad, because it sounds evil.
I mean, I'm not. I was really just thinking, but then I'm like, is he taking them to raise them?
You know, have you ever seen trees with like those big round kind of lumps in the middle?
Yes. Those are the kids?
Those are where he traps the souls of his victims, but it opens them up to a parallel world. So as far as the legends kind of tell, it seems like this is the ethereal realm of the forest dwelling folk. So it's almost like he's taking kids who aren't saved or who are mistreated or whatnot. Like sometimes it's just stealing the babies, but other times it's like whisking them away to this like different land. I don't know. It's hard to tell if he's good or bad.
Every time I hear anything about stealing children, I just think of Gryla.
So, yeah, it's less the evil, like taking the bad kids. It's more like those who don't have anywhere else to go.
Gryla also does that. If the baby doesn't have a home, they take it. She takes it, but she's crazy. Okay.
Well, he's probably friends with Gryla, too. Let's be honest.
I don't know. I'm feeling like it's like an energy thing. He can tell if you're like in the woods and you're like a bad person. Maybe I'm going to lure you over here. If maybe these kids are going to be bad souls, I'm going to take the bad ones, but the good ones that are just in really awful situations, maybe I'm going to like rehome. I don't know. That's kind of how I'm
with you to this point, but he also likes a good bribe.
Which, that's fine. That doesn't make you bad.
He can be calmed down with offerings and a man after my own heart.
Okay, I was going to say
his two favorite.
Though can be bribed.
I can be bribed. And I would probably fall for his two favorite offerings, which are tobacco and buckets full of vodka. Me and the Leshy, we would have a good time.
Your besties.
Okay. So hunters firmly believed that their success was always determined by the Leshy. He was kind of responsible for distributing the bounties of the forest. So to make sure they had a good hunt, they would enter into a pact with Leshy. Now, this is usually done during Easter, and they would offer him a gift, such as either the first Easter egg, bread with salt, although he liked the bread if they mixed it with their own hair and nails, a sacrifice of one's own blood, a contract written in blood, or tobacco or vodka. What he would do, he would guide herds of animals towards hunters or to their traps, ensuring accurate shots. Now, the contract was that the hunters could not take more than they needed.
Say the first part to me. He would guide
herds of animals towards hunters' traps.
Okay.
And help the hunter ensure an accurate shot.
But they couldn't take more than they needed.
So you can't take more than you need. You can't disrespect the land, and you have to like keep making offerings to the Leshy. Now, if you stopped or you fucked up, you would lose his protection and usually face severe consequences up to illness and death.
Do you know if he would offer you all of those? Like, I can bribe you, can give me all of these? Or would he just come to you and be like, do we know that?
I think it's more of these hunters weren't physically meeting with him. It's you leave the offering almost like you would for an ancestral or an ancestor on your altar, or like different. So you leave these things out for him.
In
you make him these
contracts. That makes so much more sense. Okay. So you're basically picking the bribe.
What do you mean?
Out of all of those bribes, you're basically picking what you're offering him.
You're picking what you're offering him.
What would you
most
pick?
Powerful during? I'd give him vodka.
Right. I'm not
we
picking
could have a glass together.
Blood contract that I might mess up.
I mean, it depends on how bad you and your family were hurting for meat, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of like a broad description of him, though.
Okay.
Because, though, this is, remember, not written history. This was orally passed down. There's so many different descriptions. Like I said, sometimes he's good. Sometimes he's tricky. Sometimes he's a demon. Sometimes he's a god. It seems like he lives in constant dualities. And many of the articles sometimes they would capitalize Leshy, and sometimes they wouldn't. And it seems to me like there's almost one godlike Leshy who is the physical spirit, and all these other energies of him that are more like minions.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a hard to grasp idea.
I think he's just multifaceted, and he is just...
But he's also everywhere.
That's okay. So is Mother Nature.
Right? I love sometimes with folklore creatures that it goes beyond the physics we understand.
But doesn't that make sense?
It does. Okay. I like it.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I wasn't questioning like you didn't. I'm just mean like, but to me it makes sense, because if you go walk in the woods, to me at least, and I know we've talked about this before, I need to just sometimes put my feet in the grass or lay in the grass, and I don't care how crazy my neighbors think I am. Where grass freaks you out, I know, on your little bare feet.
Oof, I hate the feeling.
It just does something to me. And if I just go walk in my little small woods kind of behind my house by myself through the trails, it gives me the most magical feeling that you cannot describe. Like you just, so I do get it.
But have you ever had that moment too where you walk in there and you just don't feel right? Like maybe he's just having a bad day. Maybe the energy is off.
Yes. So that's kind of where I was going to go is that, but there are some days I'll walk through the exact same path and you do kind of feel like you're watched, like maybe you shouldn't be there and it's not watched by a human. Like, you know, the difference, like if like a weirdo creep is watching you, at least I do. And I have felt that. And then like the deer will pop out and they'll just be staring at me and it'll just be like really weird. Like, what the hell is going on? So I do get that. But is that any different than you and I just having a bad day? And I would love to spite somebody and I would love to fucking dagger somebody. So, you know, he's just having a bad day.
Somebody didn't give him enough vodka.
And you just, I know, I'm going to go for walks with vodka now. Sprinkle it in the bushes.
There you go. Perfect. It's a perfect excuse to drink in the woods.
When you come here, we should just go to the forest with vodka in our water bottles.
Down. Deal. Okay. I have 3 folk tales for you.
Oh, I'm so excited for this.
Do you want the hunter, the child, or the merchant first?
Child.
Okay. The Child and the Trickster Spirit. This is a Ukrainian folk tale. Oh. And it tells of a young boy named Danilo. And he chased a butterfly into the woods while his mother was tending the fields.
How old was he?
This is a folk tale. I don't have any information other than the little story I'm going to read you, and it's for a lesson, so no questions. Questions at the end. He chased a butterfly into the woods while his mother was tending the fields. Hours passed when his mother called for him, and there was no answer, only the sound of distant laughter. The villagers warned his mother that the Leshy had taken him. So the elders performed an old ritual. They turned their clothes inside out. They walked backwards into the forest. They rang church bells. And after hours of searching, they found Danilo sitting under the branch of a pine tree, dazed but unharmed. He claimed he'd been playing with a tall man with a beard of leaves, who gave him berries and showed him dancing animals. This story, it was showing that he wasn't always malevolent, that he liked to just play with and take care of lost children and would rarely harm them if properly respected. The whole thing about putting your clothes on backwards, walking backwards, and ringing church bells are ways to disorient the Leshy back off your path. So if he was trying to hide the child from them, the only way they could find him were by doing these bizarre rituals. But anyway, the lesson here is to, not wander near the forest alone and leave your children unattended.
What if it was just like a homeless guy that lived in the woods and had just like leaves in his beard? And
like buckets of vodka. I mean, we're not far off.
Exactly. So like, I don't know about that one.
Okay.
Next. Wait, what are my options?
So, I mean, these aren't not him. These are literally the stories that were handed down of the Leshy.
Kidding. What are my other 2 options?
You have hunter or merchant.
Merchant.
So this is kind of one of the darker tales. This comes from Belarus culture. And a traveling merchant named Pavel took a shortcut through a dense forest, ignoring warnings that the Leshy walks there. As night fell, he heard branches cracking and a voice calling his name in his mother's voice.
Ooh.
Confused, he followed the sound deeper and deeper until the forest seemed to close in, the trees forming walls and the paths vanishing. Hours turned into days. Pavel tried marking trees, but the marks disappeared. He swore he saw shadowy figures laughing just beyond his torchlight. In desperation, he prays. He turns his clothes inside out, as the folklore advised, and the forest shifts. Walking backwards, he stumbles into a clearing near his village, days after he had entered. The story goes the merchant came out alive, but utterly changed. He refused to ever speak about what he'd seen in the forest and never stepped foot in them again.
Okay, so the putting your putting your clothes backwards and then walking backwards, is that just to basically like you're confusing him? Is that kind of what we think?
It seems to be like you have to confuse him back.
Yeah. So
because he is assuming, right, by doing like that you're still walking the other way.
Right. Okay. I just want to make sure.
It's the way to beat the illusions that he creates.
Got you. Okay. That's kind of what I thought. That is creepy. But also, guess what? He went in not like, haha, you don't exist. I don't believe in you. And so he was like, let me teach you a lesson.
Had he left an offering, he probably would have been fine. But yeah, he ignored the warnings that a Leshy was walking there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What a ding dong.
Ready for the hunter tale?
Oh, I sure am.
All right. So this is the hunter's pact with the Leshy. And this is a Russian folk tale. A skilled hunter named Yegor wanders deep into the forest, searching for game but finds nothing. Exhausted, he sits under an ancient oak tree and muttered curses about his bad luck. Suddenly, the forest becomes silent, and a massive man with moss for a beard and eyes glowing like embers steps out from behind a tree. He asked Yegor why he dared curse the forest. Terrified, he fell to his knees and begged for forgiveness, which amused the Leshy, and the Leshy offered him a deal. If Yegor left an offering of bread and tobacco every new moon, he would never leave the forest empty-handed. So, from that point forward, Yegor never returned from a hunt without game, until 1 month, when he forgot his offering. The next time he entered the woods, the forest twisted around him, the paths looped endlessly. Whispers echoed his names, and the wolves howled all night. So he stumbles home days later, gaunt and shaking, vowing to never break his pact again. And as long as he kept putting offerings, he kept returning with game. So it's like once you sort of enter into a deal with him, you're stuck.
Yeah.
That's where it's like the whole thing with him just seems to be like, the forest is mine. You're in my domain. You're going to do as I say, or else I'm going to make it hell for you.
I'm mad about that.
Because let's be honest, humans, they never take good care of the forest. So like he's just protecting the land and the animals. No, I think we just have to get rid of like the humanization of good or bad. He's just is what he is.
I like it. I like him.
In case you ever run across one on your travels. Because I know you spend a lot of time out there.
Turn my clothes backwards.
I have a whole list of things you can do.
Oh my God, you pulled a Kara. You should make a sheet.
I know. So the first thing you have to do is confuse him with the clothes trick. You're right.
Okay.
But you can't just put your clothes inside out or backwards. You have to do both. And it works best if you switch your left and your right shoe.
Oh, Lord.
So it confuses him and makes it hard to track you is kind of why you have to do that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, because the tracking, because it's wrong. Okay.
Yes. Now, this is depending on your beliefs. So remember, he existed in pagan times and his story still existed after Christianization. So you have to invoke either a prayer or some sort of blessing to break his illusions. So if you believe in Christianity or whatever religion, you could say a prayer of that religion. You could, use like the Lord's Prayer or something.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could use different incantations or offerings to the woodland.
Okay.
And if you are pagan, you can also call upon different deities to come in and disrupt his magic.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If you think he's on to you, but you haven't been totally lost and turned around and freaked out and the animals aren't coming for you yet, it is wise to carry bread, salt, tobacco, vodka, coins, or really cool rocks before entering the woods, and you can always leave it on a tree stump for him.
So just bring all of that on all your hikes.
I mean, let's be honest, I always have cool rocks on me, so I'd be golden.
But do you have bread, coins, tobacco, vodka?
You don't have to leave all of them. You just have to leave something for him.
I thought you had to leave all of them.
And this is before he's totally pissed off. So if you think he's kind of onto you. Now, you also have to ask him for permission. So when you leave the offering, it's wise to say, Leshy, we are guests in your forest. Please let us pass safely.
Oh, I like that, though.
Yeah, forgetting to ask for permission could render your offering completely useless.
That makes sense. So what I will say is, I feel, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the rocks that you leave should not be rocks that you've taken from his forest. They should be ones that you found ahead of time.
I would say, yeah. Okay. Yeah, at least not, maybe from a different Leshy's forest or something.
Yes.
You can also carry protective charms with you, though, if you forget your offering.
Okay.
One of the easiest ones, and this is just from ancient universal Slavic spirit repellent, just have something with iron in it.
Oh.
You could also use holy water.
I think I just want to bring vodka.
Vodka works too, but you have to ask for the permission. If you carry a birch branch, he said, for whatever reason, to not mess with you. Or blessed herbs like wormwood or St. John's wort, he'll leave you alone. And then the final one, which goes with putting your clothes on backwards, is the walking backwards.
Yes.
So it's to help you retrace your steps in a way, because his illusions are believed to disorient only forward progress. So if you appear to be going backwards, you trick him into letting you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I still think I'm just going to like bring a flask of vodka or something and then hope for the best.
Worst case scenario, if he's messing with you too hard, you just drink a bunch of vodka yourself and hey, who cares?
I don't really want him to drink vodka straight. You would.
Well, I'm Polish.
I cannot do that.
It reminds me of a time at work where I won a bottle of vodka. This was many jobs ago.
Ugh.
And they wouldn't give it to me until the end of the day.
Oh,
and
I remember
like my boss, I'm like, why can't I hold on to it? He goes, because you're Polish and you refer to vodka as potato water.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hydrating.
Potato water.
Although I can't drink vodka like I used to. Let's be honest, I'm old now.
Oh my God. What cult was it where she...
Mother God. With the colloidal silver. Yeah. She literally just didn't eat food. She drank vodka.
Because it was potatoes and she thought she was fine.
I was just talking about her last weekend.
Really? That's so wild.
Oh, she didn't think it was potatoes. She just was a raging alcoholic and delusional as hell.
I thought that she told people
it was vegan.
Yeah. That's what it was. That's what it was because it was potatoes.
Vegan in air quotes,
I knew it was something.
Anyways, a lot of the, he's a folklore creature at the end of the day. So a lot of it is symbolism.
No, it's real.
The lessons are to teach you to always respect nature, have a healthy fear of deep forests, and understand the boundaries between civilization and the wilderness and when they should and shouldn't be crossed. And he was kind of meant as like a way to teach people lessons of caution, humility, and reverence for the natural world.
I love it. I love Leshy.
I really like him.
Good job.
I feel like we could befriend him easily.
Oh.
Plus we respect the forest. So
100%.
here's my final words of warning for you.
Okay.
The biggest thing you can remember or take away from this lesson: respect the damn forest. You know how to do things, right? Pack in, pack out, take only what you need. Don't cut down trees, overhunt, or treat animals badly. And if you do, you ain't never leaving.
Or you could run with the My Favorite Murder route and stay out of the forest.
There you go.
Oh, I love that. So I have a question for you then. Are you done? Are you done?
Yep, that's what I got for you.
What's your favorite Taylor Swift folklore song?
Oh my God. Okay, so I know I shit on you for your Taylor Swiftiness. I liked her first two albums, although I would never have admitted that in high school. And then I really got into 1984.
1989?
Yes. I don't know that I could. Hold on.
I don't think you know anything from folklore.
I might, though.
My favorite from folklore is Invisible String, and then Mirror Ball, and then The One.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list now. This is not an album I really got into. What was the one where she turned to bad Taylor? I really like that one too.
Reputation?
Yeah.
So here's what's funny is that even our Swiftie of all Swifties, Emily, folklore isn't really one of the, she knows it, but she's like, oh, I never really got into it. But it's becoming one of my favorites. And so every time you kept saying folklore, I was like, Taylor Swift.
I have totally lost you. I'm going to leave an offering for the Leshy to get rid of your Taylor Swift addiction.
Y'all, you know what? Here's the thing. If an addiction is bad and bringing you down, then I think you should get rid of it. If your addiction is a woman who is a lyrical genius and does hundreds of millions of thousands of dollars worth of great things.
Okay, here's my theory on her. I have watched anti-Taylor Swift people do 180s. I have watched her climb to the top. I watch all the ritual shit she does with the way the albums all relate to each other. That woman's a witch, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Oh, I won't doubt it. She literally puts narcotics in her lyrics, as she says in one of her lyrics.
Yeah, she
is witchy. But
I as not a big fan of hers.
Yeah, you don't have to be.
Now, I liked a lot of her older stuff. I don't know why it just kind of fell off, but
It's fine. It is what it is.
she's a powerful ass witch, and she
She's a
knows what the hell
powerhouse.
she's doing. She's a genius.
She's 100% genius. But you know what me and Mom were talking about the other day? It's like, you know, music is magic. Because what else can just put you in? Like, when do you just, this is, well, whatever. It's fine. It makes sense for us. But when can you just like, you know, you put on songs when you're sad and they like put you in, they express what you're feeling and then you just like, you're good and then you get out of it or you stay in it a little bit because you need to, or you put on a song that makes you so happy and the vibes and then it pumps you up, or you know, you put on a song that like calms you down. Like that.
I mean, I just saw Streetlight for the first time in 6 years, and I'll tell you
magic.
That was, Thomas Kalinacki is a god.
So,
okay.
Yeah, magic.
We could keep ranting about music, but we could also start to wrap things up and let these people out of here. So, any weird tales that have happened to you in the forest, write those in. Leave a tree emoji.
Yes, perfect.
And what else do these people need to do?
Okay,
was it this episode that I talked about tarot? Join the Patreon for free and ask for a tarot reading. I will do my best to start knocking those out.
I'm laughing, and this is my ask, is that you leave reviews, you comment on our stuff, any of it, TikToks and all. I'm laughing because somebody, speaking of music, somebody commented, I think it was on YouTube, where it's the Wild Wild West, but I could be wrong, can't remember. I could barely get through this awful theme song.
Yeah, where was that?
I think
that was YouTube.
And I'm like, I said, thanks for staying.
You know what? If we lost you at the theme song, you ain't our people.
I love our theme song. And my good friend, since like elementary school, middle school, something like that, wrote that song, produced, performed that song. And I love it. But speaking of songs, that just made me laugh so hard because I just remembered that. But if you're still here listening, if you don't like the song, I get it. I understand it's not for everybody, but thanks for being here.
There's a 30-second skip button. You can pass right by.
But thank you. But I do appreciate you sticking through and being here for us. Everybody else, please review. Actually, we really do need reviews. We need Apple reviews and Spotify reviews.
Apple and Spotify would
really
be amazing.
Bad. So if you guys could do that, or if you know people that listen to us, could you ask them to do that for us, please? Like, that's something that I don't normally ask for, but we really desperately need it. And let's join the Patreon. Let's do some stuff. Let's have some fun. That reminded me of a Lady Gaga song. Let's have some fun.
Oh my God. Kara, wrap it up.
The most important thing you can do for us is to creep a really little oddballs.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I with the dog man.